Start recording. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a brand new episode of the Brain Matter Show live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank y'all for that warm reception. Thank y'all. Welcome, 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 like I said, to a brand new episode of the Brain Matter Morning Show Live, brought to you in part by Brainomaniac Productions and Brain Matter Studios. So good day to everybody. Good day to everybody. First and foremost, before I get started, y'all know how I do. I want to give a shout out to the Most High for allowing me to use my voice as a platform to not only encourage myself, but to encourage others. I'm not going to even front. It feels good to have a live studio audience. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have a live studio audience, you have a tendency to do a little bit better than what you're doing. And not so much as that. It's just good to know that you got people that'll listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Cheer for you, clap for you. You know what I'm saying? In your cheering section. Because everybody needs a cheering section. Everybody. We all need a cheering section. You know what I mean? But anyway, not to stray off topic too much. Let's just dive off into, okay, today we will be discussing the power and the importance of the black dollar and the black vote. This is my thoughts Thursday. I decided to do it myself. So this is what I've been thinking about. Okay, let's dive right off into it. You know what I'm saying? I'll give shout outs and I'll do all that later on. But for right now, I'm just going to dive straight into it. The power of the black dollar. The power of the black dollar in today's society, it seems, that the people, especially black people, what I'm trying to do this morning, or this afternoon or whatever, I'm trying to get you to understand the importance of the black dollar and the black vote. Now, the black dollar, how can I put this? But first, before I get into it, I need to let you know this. When it comes to money, there are not any owners, only spenders. So, what I'm really trying to say right now, ladies and gentlemen, I really want Black America to really realize where their money is going. Now, on the next episode, I'm going to talk about something different. But on this one, I'm talking about the black dollar, the importance of it. When you spend your money, do you feel that you get your money's worth? Or do you feel like people appreciate your business? Now, I'm going to tell you how important this is, especially in the black community. Let me put y'all on something, man. Now, what I'm talking about is not racist. So, for all the people that think I'm being prejudiced and being racist, then oh well. But what I'm talking about the black dollar, because see, I'm a black man and I have black dollars too. And over the course of the years, I've learned where and how my money's going. So, in your community, I have a question this morning. Well, right now I have a question. In your community, the black community, how many times do the money circulate amongst blacks before it starts to circulate out into the rest of society? Do we spend money with each other? Do we support each other? See, these are the questions you have to ask yourself when you realize the power of the black dollar. And the question is, the masses of us do, but the majority of us don't. And these, I know it sounds a little broken up, and I know it sounds like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but like I said, I've been black a long time. But really and truly, I've been black all my life. So I think when it comes to these kind of issues, I think I know what I'm talking about because I have seen this. I have seen black people run into a little money and they go elsewhere. They go somewhere where they know they're not wanted, but still try to fit in anyway. Now, the power of the black dollar is this. Finance. Finance. A people. A race of people. No matter what color they are or what ethnicity is, they got to have revenue in order to survive. I mean, that's common across America, but in order for a race of people to survive, they have to have a certain level of circulation of where their money goes and what it's being used for. Now, a lot of people might not agree, but I don't care because I'm not on here to entertain you, and I'm not on here to please people. See, these are the kind of conversations that we need to be sitting down having amongst each other. Now, when I start talking about the black vote, that's going to be something different. But right now, I'm talking about money. We throw away too much money yearly on making other people rich than empowering and financing ourselves. See, first of all, before I even start getting into money, and I know you've heard this time and time again, you heard this from this person, that person, you've heard many people say this over years, over the course of many years, many years, many years. But it continues to keep happening, and black people are keep seeming to turn a blind eye to it. So, in order before any black dollar gets spent or any other thing in the black community, the first thing we got to do, we got to stop killing each other. Now I know you done heard that statement over years and years and years. But why or what is it that makes us do that to each other? And I tell you what it is. It's hate. It's hate. See, what I'm actually trying to do, I'm trying to teach people that being black is an experience. And it's a damn good experience. But if you are misguided and misled, then you might as well be dead. We got to stop killing each other, man. We got to stop hating. We got to stop beefing and arguing with each other about bullshit. Then you wonder why all these other races get on social media and get on these platforms and tell black people what black people need to do for black people. I'm tired of hearing that shit. So the question becomes, when are we going to come together and work together as a people? Now, I know everybody ain't going to get on board. Just like I'll tell you this right here. If you actually think that every other race on this place is perfect, then somebody done told you wrong. Every race of people on this planet got their fuck-ups. They got their junkies. They got their ain't shit people. They got their underachievers. And they got their go-nowheres. They have their wars me, poets me's. But they don't project that image over the masses of their people. But we as black people, our ignorance, it gets exploited. And then it turns into entertainment for other people, like it's a spectator sport. I'm arguing with him. They waiting on me to see what I got to say about them. And the shit go back and forth until either somebody end up dead, shot, or counseled. See, y'all got to understand something. Like Tupac said on what album that was, I think that was Machiavelli. God rest his soul. Shouts out to Tupac and his family. I think it was that song on there, White Man's World. And Tupac said a lot of stuff that meant, that meant very monumental things. But the thing that stuck out to me the most about that song is when he said, we won't walk off this earth unless y'all choose to. Use your brain. Use your brain. It ain't them that's killing us. It's us that's killing us. It's not them that's knocking us off. It's us that's knocking us off. And physically killing one another is not the only way. We don't support each other. We post ideas. The first thing black people do is find out what's wrong with it so they can pick at it. Tear it down. And this is a practice through system indoctrination. We learned this from the Europeans. But what the Europeans did, instead of them doing it, they taught us to do it to ourselves. Even in slavery. The separation of us. The light skin versus the dark skin. The light skin stayed in the house. The dark skin out there in the field working. Keep them separated. Make them hate one another. Give this one a little one and give this one nothing. And that creates hate. It created hate to where the house slaves couldn't get along with the field slaves. I mean, y'all already know the word. I can't say it. But I just choose not to. Because Malcolm already said it. So I don't have to backtrack and go back and repeat that. Because Malcolm already said that. And it created separation between us. Man, black people hold so much hate in their heart. To not only it's sickening, till it's scary, bro. Black people don't even want to look at each other. Like, what is it? Is it like when you look at another person, do you see the ugly image of yourself? I mean, we got to get to, see, these are the kind of conversations, these uncomfortable conversations we got to start having. That's why it ain't nothing but one person on this stream. That's why it ain't nothing but one person on this stream right now, because it's reaching some people. But hate. I'm going to give you a couple of more examples before I get into the black vote. But the black dollar. That's why it can't circulate, because of the hate that we have for each other. It ain't got nothing to do with other races coming into your community, setting up shop, and been doing what they've been doing for 20 and 30 years. But if the collectiveness, if the togetherness was there, then there won't be no reason for us to hate each other. But see, hate is a choice. Sorry about the static, but I've been working on some things in my studio this morning. So, y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me this morning. Now, it's that hate, man. It's that hatred we have for one another. I'm sorry, I just got to go on and break it down. It's that hate. We make hateful music toward each other. Drill rap. Like, what the hell is that? Like, come on, man. All this black money running around here, and y'all wondering why it don't circulate. I'll tell you another reason before, because I'm going to keep this show short, because I don't know how long this distortion going to be in here. So, I'm going to tell you another reason. Now, this might not be the primary reason, but this is a reason why black businesses don't grow. Now, I might lose a couple of followers, but I might gain a couple of followers, because I'm finna ruffle some feathers. I'm finna make you feel real uncomfortable. You want to know why the black business don't grow and why it don't circulate? Greed. Greed. The majority of black people want all the money. Then they want you to turn around and worship their wealth, which creates a glass ceiling that you'll never reach. Because you are so idolized and so focused and so driven on what they doing, you don't even see the opportunity for yourself. Greed. Greed. Let me give you an example. I said this on a previous show, right? And this is true. And a lot of, like I said, before I started this, it's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. And a lot of people going to feel very, very, very uncomfortable with this conversation that I'm having. But I don't give a damn. Because the state of black nationalism and black excellence is riding on this. So I don't give a damn about your feelings right now. Get out your feelings. Ain't no money in your feelings. Let me give you an example. White man get a job making $30 an hour. He gonna tell all his brothers and all his people, the majority, the masses of them, the ones that, the free thinkers, he's gonna try to employ or get employed as many of his people as he can. The Hispanic get a job making $30 an hour, or can provide a job making $30 an hour. He gonna tell all his people. He gonna tell his brothers, his sisters. He gonna tell whoever he got to tell. Because he's making $30 an hour. So he wants his people to be making $30 an hour so they can feel just as empowered as him. Now, when it comes to black people, the majority, not the masses, because see, I just big face a lot of stuff. See, I don't look at the deficiency of black people as being a public underclass. I talk about these issues and also coming up with solutions to try to combat or solve the problem, because this is a solution-based station. There's no woe is me, poe is me, I can't get right, I ain't doing that shit over here. I don't have time for weak, broke back, spineless, unsolution-based as black people. I don't have time for that. Now, a black man get a job making $30 an hour. Oh, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Because all I'm gonna do coming out here doing better than me, and that's the motherfucking problem. Most black people want it all for themselves. The majority. They want it all for themselves. But here's the downside to it. Let's say you get the job. Or let's say you can provide the job. Making $30 an hour, $20 an hour, whatever currency you are able to pay. Let's say you can provide it. You know, working for black people is like working for some of the nastiest people on earth. Oh yeah, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers this morning. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Because it's true. It's true. So think about that for a minute. You don't have to respond, but you think about that for a minute. Let that marinate, and you actually get at some thought. And a lot of people Not everybody, but the masses of people gonna be like, you know what? He right. Took a bold approach to it, but he's right. And I'm telling the truth. Black people act like that toward black people. They do. See, this is a very, very uncomfortable conversation. You know what I'm saying? But we have to have these things in order for us to progress as a people. We got to stop that hate. But a lot of that hate is self-hate. It's inflicted. So the message that I'm trying to give out this morning is simply this. Before you turn around and hate your fellow brother or your sister, turn that shit inward and find out what it is that you hate about your damn self. Now, I can't make people support you just like I can't make people support me. I can't make people hit that follow button. I can't make people subscribe. I can't make people support your business. Because it's a choice. The choice to do or not to do. The choice to employ or be employed. And that's a problem in our community. Most black men and black women, they want it all. They want to have all the say so. Well, really what I call it, I call it the big mouth syndrome. No, it's something that I diagnosed. You know what I'm saying? Even at the lowest level. Because I see it on jobs all the time. You know what I'm saying? The center of attention syndrome. The big mouth syndrome. You want everybody, words to come out your mouth, got to be relevant to you. But you ain't doing nothing. Now, I listened to, shouts out to Ebony K. Williams this morning, this afternoon, whatever. I was listening to her interview that she did on the Breakfast Club. And what she said is true. It's hard to control anything when you don't own nothing. And then when you do own something, you want to treat people like they beneath you. You don't want to pay them on time. You want to treat them shitty. And you want to use reverse psychology to try to make them feel like they wrong when you fucked up. See, we got to find out what causes that kind of activity. And find out how to combat that. Well, easy. I already got the answer to you for that already this morning. Because see, like I told you, this is a solution-based station. I'm going to tell you what the problem is with that. The problem is with that, a little ego, a little arrogance. But more importantly, back to what I said, greed. Black people want to use this excuse. Now, don't get me wrong, because slavery is something that we've all had to cope with. Even if we were there or not there, our ancestors, our forefathers, our two mothers, or whatever you want to call it, was brought to this country involuntarily, in chains, and forced to work and build. Now, over the years, it has became less physical but more mental and psychological. But we got to get out of that. We have to get out of wanting to be the man or be the woman, but not acting like it. We just got to stop hating, bro. We got to stop hating one another. And once we stop hating, now I'm not saying it's gonna all happen overnight. But listen to the music. We the only race of people talking about killing each other in the music. Shoot a nigga, kill a nigga, fuck a nigga, bitch. Rob this, rob that. I gotta get the bag, I gotta get the sack. I'm the dope man. Half you niggas ain't sold a Nick sack. Bet you didn't see that coming. Half you niggas ain't sold a Nick sack. So look at what the music is doing. See, it's too damn competitive. Everybody, with a majority of people in the industry and all over, you want to be the man or be the woman, but you don't want to do the work of the man or the woman. What the hell? Answer this for me before I go on to. Answer this. I want somebody to answer this for me. And you don't have to, but I'll answer it for you if you don't. So think about this. What good is a multi-billionaire black man if he can't do nothing for black people? What good is he or she? Y'all so busy trying to get in these pictures and get around these billionaires. But here's the thing. The billionaires you sitting around, they got say-so. You don't have no say-so because you don't own nothing. Now let's go back before I go to talking about the black vote. What did I say about money in the beginning of this podcast? Yeah, you sit around your billionaire friends and your buddies, and you look like a meatball in the rice. You look like a sore thumb because you don't own nothing. You don't own anything. So guess what? When it comes to money, there's no owners, only spenders. All right, that kills that right there. All right. Now before I get into this next one, everybody already know who I done shouted out to and who's here. So let me ask the crowd, how did y'all feel about that? Thank y'all. Now before I go on, I want to let y'all know everything that I talk about as far as these issues, I have lived and I have experienced this. So I may not know everything, but I know a little something about a little something. And I know how important the black dollar is. But just as important as the black dollar. Now see, this one here gonna hurt you right here. Well, it ain't gonna hurt you, it's gonna help you. The black vote. The black vote. Voting is very key and vital to any race of people, because voting grants you the right to have what you want to have in your community. Thank you for stopping through the Brain Matter Morning Show. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Now, voting is very key and very vital to any race of people. Because, see, voting, like I said, voting is what determines how this gonna go or how that's gonna go. Now, see, the first thing that you need to learn, first of all, I'm gonna give you a lesson. The first thing you need to learn, the city council, the state representatives, the mayor, the government, on any level, Congress, you must learn that you don't work for them. They work for you. Let me repeat that. Your government, the thing that governs your community, you can control that by the power of voting. You can control that with the power of voting. And you wonder why a lot of things, and not just black people, all people, reason why they walk around with their face all balled up mad, because things ain't changing. Did you vote? Did you go out and vote? No, you didn't. You sat your ass around and complained about the problem, but you didn't come up with a solution. So now when things don't happen your way, now you pissed off at society and you mad at the world. So you can't be mad at the world, be mad at yourself. Because you didn't get up and go vote. Let me tell you how simple this is, really. Now, I'm pretty sure in most communities, the masses of communities, due to crime, I'm pretty sure 80% of the communities across America have a neighborhood watch program, to where they come to somebody's house or they meet at the local church and they discuss ways and solutions to how to keep that neighborhood safe. That's the same thing with voting. Let's have a voting party. And we all ain't gonna agree. We're gonna disagree on some things. But the power of agreement in a community, everybody got to be on one accord. See, individual voting, it's a good thing, but collective voting is even better. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to give you two examples. I'm going to give you one now, and I'm going to give you one before I get ready to close. It's just as simple as this. Let's say in your neighborhood that you notice there's a lot of speeding going on in your neighborhood. Now, this is a residential neighborhood now, and you have kids, you have people walking their dogs, you have people, you know what I'm saying, just doing all kind of recreational things in their neighborhood. But the problem in this neighborhood is that, for some odd reason, people feel like They got to speed through these neighborhoods. Like there's some highway or some shit. So we hold a voters meeting at the church down there. And we come in and somebody say, okay, you know what? One thing that, and you give everybody a chance to voice their opinion. And you see the similarities in the opinions. That's how you find common ground with each other. Somebody might say, okay, it's too much speed going through this neighborhood, nightly and daily. So what can we do to slow the speed down in this neighborhood? Okay, they try the signs. The signs still don't do it. So they start putting speed bumps. They start putting speed bumps in neighborhoods to slow down these crazy drivers. Now, all at first, people, everybody ain't gonna do it the right way. Some people gonna hit that speed bump, spin off the road, tear up their car, and it's gonna take that maybe 2 or 3 times. Now, I'm not saying I want people to lose their life, but maybe that accident will help you slow your ass down, or that ticket that you're about to get, speeding in a residential neighborhood. You done lost control and done spit off into somebody's damn house. But that's the power of voting, ladies and gentlemen. Listeners, followers, family, friends, that's the power of voting. Now, I'm not saying that you got to do this every week. You can do it once a month. And then, let me show you the collectiveness. The collectiveness comes because everybody has different schedules. Some people work at day, some people work at night. Some people don't work at all. But by us holding this meeting, I know everybody can't be there. So I be the voice for the people to advocate that we need more speed. We want to put speed bumps in our neighborhood because we tired of our mailboxes. We tired of our garbage cans. And we tired of all these damn near miss accidents. So I know everybody can't be there. So I tell y'all what y'all do. Let's sign a petition through the power of agreement to where we need speed bumps because we want safer neighborhoods. Everybody signs. The majority signs. Well, the masses sign. Because the majority ain't going to sign. But the masses of it sign. Okay, during the next city council meeting, you go down there. Because it's to the public. You go down there. And you talk to them. They're going to probably give you 3 minutes to voice your opinion. So you got to, on your way down there, you got to try to tighten it all up into a 3-minute little speech. But one thing, you got to make a strong point. You got to make a strong and valid point. And then you come with the statistics. The statistics and the analytics of what you grieving about. Now you got 348 signatures. And you present that to them. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to come out and they're going to install those speed bumps. They'll come out and they'll install those speed bumps because the community, this is what the community wants, not one individual. The community wants this. So it's gonna happen for the community. I'm telling y'all, stop letting these politicians and these go nowhere ass people in your neighborhood combat the safety and security for what you want in your neighborhood. And I'm especially talking to black people. You got to get out of that somebody owe me something shit. Because we've been waiting on reprimand for slavery for hundreds of years and we still ain't got it. But the fight on it still continues. But who goes to say in this lifetime or the next lifetime that it might happen? So you got to get out of that. Or one day they gonna do. No the hell they ain't. You'll be dead and gone. Your children will be dead and gone. And your grandchildren will be dead and gone. Before we get any reparations. This is just the reality of it, people. So stop waiting on what people can do for you and start doing it for yourself. Got to get out and vote. But the key to it is what are you voting about? What are you grieving about? See, that's what the meeting come in at. Because you get to voice your opinion, they get to voice their opinion, and then we can find common interest in what we're grieving about. You know what? You sure right. You know what? I live right down that corner, and I be saying that all the time. You sure right. You know what? Yes, that's the power of agreement. That's how you get what you want in your community. Getting on Facebook, sitting around a whole bunch of people, smoking blunts, drinking beer, celebrating failure is not going to get you what you want in your neighborhood. And this is just the reality of it, black people. You got to stop being so damn lazy. Quit walking around with your face all balled up like that's going to change something. Because it's not. You have to be able to stand in solidarity with your brother and your sister. Then that's where the reprimand started at. Quit begging these folks for something that they ain't never gonna do. But we'll get into that later on. Now before I close, I'm gonna give you one more example. But with this example that I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you a solid. Because I'm going to have actual footage on what I'm talking about. Okay, before I close, let me tell you the power of voting. Y'all just give me a minute. Give me a minute. I know. Just give me a second. I'm going to close. It ain't going to be because I got to get up and do some things in a little bit. So, I'm finna get it to you real quick. All right. Now, thank you. I agree that I got the hottest podcast in Austin, Texas too. Thank you so much. But check this out though. Let me give you a broader example of what I'm talking about. And you can actually go see this shit. But I'm going to do something a little bit more to strengthen my message. So check this out. I live in the East Austin area, right? So, right up the street, across the bridge, there's a 7-Eleven, there's a Burger King. They just started building the Quick Trip. But before all that came about, somebody came up with the idea I don't know if it was a millionaire or billionaire. But somebody came up with the idea that they wanted to put a strip mall behind the Burger King and behind the 7-Eleven up there. Which, in a sense, a business sense, which will bring more, make things more lucrative and be able to provide more goods and services for people. That was the idea. Now, I'm going to show you the power of voting. But I'm going to tell you the lie first. I'm going to tell you the lie I got first. Because see, this is how people be trying to downplay shit and try to make shit seem like it's not what it is, but that's what it is. See, this is the lie I got. Now, you can go actually see this if you want to, because actually it's right off 969. As soon as you come out 183, all you got to do is just come on up and make that right. And you look right up. Matter of fact, all you got to do is just make it to the light and look. Because you can see it from the highway. Big old building. They done put graffiti all over it. And the trees done grown up around it. But let me tell you the lie I got. See, this is the lie I got. The lie that I got, that it was a holding pond back there. So they had to stop the construction for some reason, or the city didn't clear the block. That's the lie I got. But I'm going to tell you the truth that I found. The truth that I found is those people behind there in that neighborhood, when all this was going on, they came together as a community, talked about it, thought about it, and decided that that is not what they want in their neighborhood. So what they did, they wrote a petition and they voted against that strip mall being put in their neighborhood. So basically what I'm trying to say, they didn't want that shit in their neighborhood. So they voted against it. That's the power of voting, ladies and gentlemen. Now ride by there now and look at it. That's the power of voting, ladies and gentlemen. That's the power of voting. Them people that want that shit in their neighborhood, because they know what kind of riffraff and what kind of crime that they were going to have to deal with on top of the riffraff and the crime they already got. So they was like, no, we don't want that in our neighborhood. And you can't force us to put it over here. And that's the power of vote, ladies and gentlemen. When you know the power and the importance of your dollar and your vote, you become a coordinator. So now you can coordinate what goes on in your neighborhood through the power of agreement. And I'm really saying this to the most high, to the lowest depth, to my people, to black people. Do you understand? Do you really understand what I'm saying? See, this is an uncomfortable conversation, bro. And a lot of people don't want to have these conversations because they just don't want to. But that's them and I'm me. Protect your money and protect your vote. And not just on a community basis, even on a national level. If we can't see nothing that we done worked so hard for, what the hell we voting for? See, Let me tell you something, man, before I get out of here. And this go for me, you, anybody. And I learned this from Suge Knight. You will never know what you need until you need it. You'll never know what you need until you need it. So if that vote or that dollar is not there, what are you prepared to do? And that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you to all my listeners, followers, family, and friends for allowing me the privilege of some of y'all time to talk about something that is so divine. And on the next episode of the Brain Matter Morning Show Live, we will be talking about circulation. And I'm not talking about the circulation around your neck. We talking about the circulation around y'all community. Y'all be good, be blessed, less stress, stay hydrated, stay motivated, stay dedicated, but most of all, stay together within oneself or with each other because there's strength in numbers. Now, before I get out of here, to all my Austinites, to all of my people around the country, we are in the season of the summer. It is hot. It is hot. In some places, there are triple digits. Stay hydrated out there. Stay hydrated out there. Drink plenty of fluids. Not just water, not just Gatorade. But it's how you drink it and when you drink it. So y'all stay hydrated out there now. Because that sun, it shows no favoritism. And it choose no size. And it'll burn any, or if not, all our ass up. So y'all be good. Y'all be good. Take care of yourself out there. And we'll see y'all next time. Aircraft Crowley, sign it off.